So where is your shop?
That's like if I met you and
You will not, let me just tell you, you will not be meeting me at the Bexar County Jail. Cited in all the appropriate places.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? Okay, she's
Joint custody.
time out. You're being very dishonest and slippery with me because I asked you.
Every day in court, foolishness walks in like it owns the place. In today's video, Judge Boyd shows exactly why that never ends well.
People start a sentence with, to be honest with you. Usually what's coming after that is not honest. Cited in all the appropriate places.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? It's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Okay.
Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any, just one second. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
We have discussed possible defenses. Yes, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
In my opinion, yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, yes, Judge.
Ms. Lewis, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed? After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
In the interest of justice, we would ask so, Judge, so that the TAP evaluation can commence as soon as practical.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, Ms. Lewis presents herself here. She's been a pleasure to work with. And once we went over the facts of the case and her options, she accepted the responsibility and wishes to seek assistance so she can start putting this behind her.
All right. Ms. Lewis, do you have any support system?
Yes, ma'am.
Who would that be?
My godmother.
Okay. And where are your mom, your dad?
Currently in California.
Okay. So how did you end up in San Antonio?
My mom brought me here and just to finish high school.
Okay. And who did she bring you here to finish high school with?
And just herself.
Okay. Why?
She had just exited the military.
Mhm.
And wanted to find a place to station, and she was choosing here.
All right. And when's the last time you had contact with your mom?
About sometime last month.
Okay. And have you ever had a mental health diagnosis for anything?
Yes.
What for?
Bipolar disorder.
Anything else?
And psychosis.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
How old are you?
27.
How far did you go in school?
High school.
Okay. You graduated?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever had any employment since high school?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Working at a chicken processing unit.
Okay. All right. So how often, well, when did you start using drugs?
Just recently, sometime last month.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to a $500 fine. That would be probated, 2 years deferred adjudication, a referral to felony drug court while in custody. Because it's Monday, they should be able to get to you this week. And even though, Michael, if you could move out of the line of sight of probation. And even though they may be full, they're about to have a graduation, so there may be some openings, okay?
Okay,
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, field visits, one time per month until in treatment, TAP evaluation in custody, MIC evaluation out of custody, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors, a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. If she's in felony drug court, they'll take care of that. Probation, in 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Probation, is there anything, y'all need to get out of the line of sight of probation. All right, probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
no, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did
Yes.
you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So both defense counsel and the state have told me that you've had some criminal trespass issues in the past.
Mhm.
If you are homeless, let probation know, because they'll be able to give you some resources that can find a place for you to stay. But you cannot be picking up criminal trespasses. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right. In this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, pick up the phone, call your probation officer. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to this court, okay?
Okay,
All right. Good luck to you.
thank you.
And
Welcome.
in that regard, would the court happen to have a card so I can give to Ms. Lewis? We do appreciate the courtesy extended by the court judge.
Oh, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Take care of you.
All right. Have a good one.
Here, Ms. Lewis. Thank you.
Ms. Rubio, I have to ask you some questions if I'm going to reinstate this bond. The questions I ask you will not be about the underlying facts of the case, but I do need to ask you other questions. So could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give would be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. I'm going to need you to speak up so the court reporter can hear. State your name for the record.
Vanessa Rubio.
All right. Ms. Rubio,
Ma'am.
have you had any mental health treatment before? Any diagnoses of mental health? Drug use? Oh, if I drug test you right now, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
Okay. All right, we'll do a drug test and then we'll come back. And the reason why I'm doing that, because the law has changed. If I'm going to be setting bonds, I need to make sure that there are conditions in place so that you won't reoffend. For example, if you have a drug issue and I know about it and I don't do anything about it, that comes back on me for not addressing that issue. So counsel, we'll do a UA today. And if there are no issues with the UA, then I won't add conditions of treatment.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So before we do that, you're saying it's going to be negative. All right. Could you hang? They'll give you a UA today. And then Mr. Sandoval will take that up.
Thank you, Judge. I stand here with Ms. Rubio. As the court is aware, we had a minor issue with respect to her bond. In order for judicial efficiency and to get on with her life and begin the process of putting this behind her, she sought my direction at attempting to resolve all matters. And that's what she wanted to do today, is to accept responsibility, come forward and start the process of putting this behind her with whatever conditions the court deems appropriate, given the totality of the circumstances and the information the court learned today.
All right. Are you employed?
No.
How do you support yourself?
Currently I am not, since I went to jail for this, I lost my job, so I'm still looking for a new one.
So when's the last time you were employed?
The beginning of June, or the middle of June, I guess. Maybe about the middle of June.
Do you have any children?
Yes, 2.
What are their ages?
She just turned 12 and 14.
Who do they live with?
They reside with both me and their dad.
Who is the father?
William Bloodworth is one of them.
I'm sorry, who?
William Bloodworth. He is the father of my daughter.
Mhm.
And my son's father is not involved. He takes that place of that.
So you're saying you're living with William Bloodworth? Yeah, but in this, it says that Nick Sarabia is your boyfriend. That's what it says in the police report.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's not okay. That's what it says in the police report.
And
So
he
who is
was-
this other
he-
person?
That is my kid's, sorry, that is my kid's father.
No, you didn't mention Nick Sarabia as being the father
No,
of
he is
any.
not the father of my kids.
No, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what she just said in regards to Nick Sarabia?
I didn't say anything on this.
So you said that Nick Sarabia was the children's father, but you just told me that,
I'm sorry, he is not the children's father. He was the boyfriend at the time. He is locked up right now. We have not spoken.
Mhm. And then why were you dishonest with me about your drug test?
I'm sorry. That was 7 days ago. I didn't think that it was me.
No. That should not be in your system from 7 days ago. When's the last time you used and what are you using on a regular basis?
7 days ago.
What are you using?
There was meth on 7 days ago.
No, listen to my question. What drugs are you using?
Meth.
How often are you using meth?
Last time I did it was 7 days ago. 7 days.
And what else are you using?
Nothing else.
And what is the father, Mr. Bloodworth, what is he using?
Nothing. Oh, your brother? Nothing.
I find that people,
We don't live together. We both share custody of my kids. They live with me and then they live with their dad.
okay,
We
she's,
do a joint custody.
time out. You're being very dishonest and slippery with me because I asked you, my mind is a steel trap, but I wanted the court reporter to read back because maybe my mind is failing, but I highly doubt that. You told me that your children were living with you and their father, and you said the other father he's not a part of anything. Now you're telling me, oh no, he doesn't live with me. It's on and off. You've been dishonest with me from the very beginning. You were dishonest when I asked you if you're going to be positive. You were dishonest about that. Then you were dishonest about Bloodworth. I don't even know if this is this person's real name or not. Then you were dishonest about Sarabia. At first, and later you said he was the father of your children. Now he's not the father of your children. You're just being dishonest all across the board with the court, and I don't appreciate it. And dishonesty has nothing to do with nerves. You heard my questions. My questions were very specific. All right, this is what the court is going to do. I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to recall the warrant. I'm going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Is CPS involved in your life?
No.
Well, I mean, why are you saying no? Like they should be. You're using meth and you're taking care of children. CPS should be involved in your life. So I'm going to want CPS compliance. If CPS is involved in her life, I don't know if they are or not. She's been dishonest with the court. I'm going to want the UA hotline until further notice, intensive parenting classes. I'm going to want field visits, random, 1 time per month until further notice. Please check on the children. There's to be no contact with the person who she's saying may or may not be the child's father. There's to be no contact with Nicholas, Anthony, Sarabia. And that means if he's at the Bexar County Jail and he calls you and you'll know it's coming from the jail because they're going to ask you if you'll accept the collect call, you need to hang up because otherwise I'm going to count that as contact. And it's easy to see if that's happening because they keep a record of every phone call from the jail. Do you understand? There's to be no contact with William Clark Gordon. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. taking consideration NIMAC number 716819. And Brittany, if you could do the rejection for me on that case. All right, all right. It's NIMAC number 716819, grand jury number 785613, JN number 2097716, 200 hours of community service restitution. Those will not be waived. TAP evaluation. And once the TAP evaluation is complete, she's going to start with intensive outpatient treatment. And the court is noting for the record that she's agreed she was acting as a party with William Gordon and Nicholas Sarabia. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Oh, and I'm sorry, there's to be restitution, if any, to Kyle Burney, Kyleborne. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? I'm sorry?
I don't think so. I think everything sounds like it's gonna help.
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Your children are depending on you to raise them, and they cannot be raised by you if you are using drugs. And the people that you bring into your children's life should be people who are not using drugs. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would ask the court to follow the plea bargain. Mr. Ichortea has no criminal record. He's what, 20 years old, Your Honor. This was a big mistake. He understands that, and he'll do well on probation, I'm sure.
All right. So why are you going 100 miles per hour?
To be honest with you, Your Honor, that day I was going to school.
All right. So here's the thing, and your attorney will tell you this. When people start a sentence with, to be honest with you, usually what's coming after that is not honest. And then when people say, in all honesty, what's coming is not honesty. Whenever you hear people talking and they say, well, with all due respect, what's about to come is without respect. So you're speeding, going 100 miles per hour. Why?
I was going to school.
Yeah, but why are you going 100 miles per hour? Other people go to school, they're not going 100 miles per hour. I'm sorry, what?
I was running late, Your Honor.
So you're running late. And what school were you going to?
I was going to Pathways Home Education
And whose car were you in?
in my vehicle.
All right, do you have insurance on that vehicle in your name?
Yes.
And were you paying for that vehicle and paying for the insurance?
Not insurance, Your Honor.
Who was paying for the insurance?
Be my mother.
And so how long were you in doing home education with Pathways?
About 3 months.
And where were you doing education before Pathways?
It was Stevens High School.
All right, so why were you at Pathways Home as opposed to Stevens?
I had dropped out at Stevens High School during the pandemic because they weren't counting me present in my classes anymore.
Mhm.
And I wanted to go back to school. So we had found an educational program for students that wanted to work from home, or if they wanted to, could go to the school physically, if they felt comfortable with it.
Mhm.
And I was just running like that day. And I'm trying to go back to school now, really.
So have you graduated?
No.
So
when I
how do
went
you-
into jail, that kind of made everything fall apart.
And then I bet when you went to jail, that sort of woke you up too.
Yes, ma'am.
So how far did you go in school?
How far? About junior year.
So you're in your junior year, you're 20. School is different from when I went.
At that time,
It was rare that 18-year-olds were still in high school. They had already graduated. So I'm trying to figure out why
I
at
got held back in
20,
first grade.
I'm sorry?
I got held back in first grade,
Okay.
but I was 19 at the time, so I was still eligible for a high school diploma. So that's why I was going through that educational program to get my diploma.
All right. How long have you been out of custody?
State, I believe. To be honest with you, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, no.
All right. either you're just trying to put that behind you, or it didn't make enough of an impact. So have you been out of custody for more than a month? More than 3 months? More than 6 months? All right, so you haven't been in school since you've been out of custody. So what have you been doing?
I've been working, been hopping job from job.
Working, doing what?
I was working industrial, and then for a little bit, I was also working as a cook.
All right, when you say working industrial, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I made automotive vehicles. I worked for Toyota for a little bit.
Okay. And why did you stop working at Toyota?
I stopped working at Toyota because I couldn't do the hours. It was 2 weeks on day, 2 weeks on night, and trying to transition through that was really hard for me.
So you quit. And when you quit working at Toyota, did you give them a 2 weeks notice?
Yes, I did.
All right. And when you quit, did you already have another job lined up?
I did. I was searching.
And is the reason why you didn't have another job lined up because you knew you could live with your mom?
Well, that, yes, and because I wanted to look for another opportunity somewhere.
Well, here's the thing. If you're living by yourself, or either if you're living and the household is dependent on your income, you can't just say, this job, I don't like their hours, so I'm going to quit. Here's my 2 week notice and I don't have anything fall back on. Because for example, if your mother were to say, I don't like my job, if she's working, I don't know if she's retired or not, but if she's working, she can't say, I don't like my job, I don't have any other place to go, I'm just going to quit. And children, just so you know, your mom is quitting her employment, so you're all going to have to pick up the slack. You're an adult. And is your mom with you today?
She
She was this morning, but
All
she
right.
couldn't come.
So your mom was here with you this morning and she's going to work. So here's the thing, you can't just, you're an adult, even though technically you're 20, people still see you as young. 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, people still see them as young, but technically you're an adult. So you got to put away the childish things. You can't just quit a job and say, I'm going to find something else. And for you to be working at Toyota, I'm sure Toyota was paying you well, but you haven't even graduated high school and you got a good job. And it's Toyota, maybe you don't like the hours. My mom, she used to work on rotating shifts, and you know what her shifts were? And I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think it was 7 days straight. And she had to do rotating shifts. So she had a morning shift, you do that for 7 days. Then I think they give you like 3 days off. And then you have the middle shift, which is the 3 to 11 shift. You do that for 7 days. Then they give you 3 days off. Then you have the graveyard shifts. It was either 7 days each shift or 14 days each shift. And you know what? She didn't quit that job. You know why she didn't quit that job? Because people were dependent on her paycheck. Her children were dependent on her paycheck. So you need to stop and start growing up and stop thinking that you can just quit a job and a new job is just going to pop up. You understand? Don't quit a job or give them your notice until you know you have another job. And so you're a cook. I'm sure, where are you a cook at?
I was a cook at it.
All right, so you were a cook. So where are you working now?
Currently.
See, you've quit 2 jobs already. And I'm sure Toyota had good benefits. And you know what? The other people who are working that rotating shift, you're behind now. And this is what I mean about your being behind. You're going to look up and you're going to be that person going from job to job. And then the people who were at Toyota with you, they're going to be ready for their retirement. And they're going to say, you know what? I already put in my 20 years. Whereas you may end right back up at Toyota and you'll only have a year in and you're looking at doing 19 more. Don't be a leaf blowing around in the wind. You understand? All right. Any children, do you? Okay.
Trust me, if I did.
I didn't want to ask that question, but I was like, please, you got to work on yourself first before you do that. All right, so there's going to be a $1,500 fine. I'm going to probate that, not for you. I'm probating it for your mom because I know she would help you pay that. So we're going to probate that. I'm going to place you on 2 years deferred adjudication. You're going to get employment. You understand?
Yes.
And I'm going to require that you stick with that job. The only time you can leave the job you have, of course, if there's something dangerous happening, They're violating OSHA standards. The only time you'll be able to leave that job, if they're not violating OSHA standards, is if you already have another job. You understand? We're not going to do that anymore. So it's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Oh, and by the way, at Toyota, that shift you were working, I'm sure if you put enough time in, they probably would have given you a different shift. Those shifts are usually for people that they're trying to see if you're going to last. So if I were in your position and I haven't graduated from high school, Toyota seems like it's a good place to be in as far as benefits, 401k. I'm sure they'll do medical, dental, all of that. You understand? There is going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There'll be regular random UAs, defensive driving course, 180 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived if he completes his GED or if he graduates from school, or if he enters and successfully completes a trade school. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 2 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, so we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're going 100 miles per hour. And guess what could have happened? One, you're not a race car driver, right? You could have easily hit a child who was walking through the crosswalk, because guess what? Children tend to be walking through crosswalks during school. Could have been somebody from high school. Could have been one of the little elementary school children who are just trying to make it to school, and you're speeding at 100 miles per hour. This is not Fast and the Furious. You understand? And you easily could have been killed. You could have wrapped your vehicle around a light pole or ran into the school. You understand? All right. And then if that would have happened, you know what? They would have been trying, if you would not have survived, they would have been trying to sue your mom. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. How old are you?
21.
You're 21. You want to go to prison? Do you want to be over in the box with those gentlemen over there? Some people at the jail, some people at the prison, they're charged with murder, right?
Yeah.
They're charged with sex offenses. They're charged with robberies. They've been to prison before. This is their 3rd time or whatever. It appears to the court that maybe that's where you want to go, because you're not doing what needs to be done. You're here on an evading arrest with a vehicle. You live with your parents. I can't even believe they're still allowing you to drive. You shouldn't even be driving, because obviously you're not mature enough to drive. And this reckless driving, what was that about?
Just made a bad judgment.
No. I didn't ask you whether you made a bad judgment or not. We know you did. That's why you're here. What is it about? How were you driving recklessly? Were you going beyond the speed limit? Were you out here, like I see these children do, shutting down in the street, doing roundabouts? What were you doing?
I was going over the speed.
By how much?
I'm not too sure. It didn't say on the report.
You should know.
According to the report, Your Honor, I think he turned off his lights and he passed a few stop signs. They said he was driving at a high rate of speed, but they didn't say exactly.
So let
how
me
much.
ask you this. Let's think about this logically. You're young. Sometimes young people don't think logically. You turn off your lights. I'm assuming then this was nighttime.
Was.
You turn off your light at nighttime and you're blowing through stop signs. What do you think the purpose of a stop sign is for?
You stop the vehicle.
But why? Why do we have stop signs? Why do we even have red lights?
In case of pedestrians coming through or cross traffic.
And why, when it's nighttime, why do you have to have your lights on?
So another vehicle or a person can see the vehicle.
So if you turn off your lights, what does that mean? Will people be able to see you? All right. And then somebody is walking past that stop sign because they don't see a vehicle. What's going to end up happening?
Collide with the person or vehicle.
And what's going to happen with that person?
They either die or get seriously
Yeah.
injured.
And let me just tell you what would have happened if you would have hit someone. You would have ended up hitting that person, and you know what you would have done? You would have left the scene. They would have ultimately found you, and then you would have been in the box, and you would have been before me crying, asking for tea and sympathy. So what I can tell you is this. The only reason why you're not going to prison right now is because your age. And I guess you're not thinking. So I'm going to try to help you think and make better decisions. So I'm going to deny the motion. I'm going to alter him in conditions. He will be taken into custody today. He's going to local ISF. And since your family won't do it, I'm going to have to do it. You are not allowed to drive. Wherever you need to go, either you're going to have to get an Uber, you're going to have to learn to do the VIA. You're not going to be driving for the rest of your probation. Don't come back to me saying I have to go to school in another county. You're going to have to figure it out. Do you understand? And I will take in consideration 2025 CC 002773, and we'll do a referral to felony drug court. And all of that is to take place in custody. And then you said intensive outpatient treatment?
Yes, sir. Oh, no, actually, inpatient.
Inpatient treatment. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, you're right.
Yes.
You got the other part.
All right,
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
that'll be inpatient treatment. And I know that you all didn't go on the section about using marijuana. It's illegal in Texas. You're on probation. You're not allowed to use marijuana. If you want to sit around, fry your brains or whatever, you can't do it while you're on probation. Do you understand? And we can go off the record. What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Join the military.
All right, well, the military, they're not just accepting everybody. And counsel, once he completes all of this,
Yeah.
if he signs up for the military and I need to see it signed on the dotted line, I will let him go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Will we be excused?
Yes. Humberto Rodriguez. Street name. That's not what you said in the police report. You said P1 stated that he didn't know Wood's real name and stated that some, I don't know why people are still using the N-word, don't want their name to be known. You feel me? And I respect it. I go by a street name and he go by a street name. That's what we do. So what's your street
I don't
name?
know about street names. So I don't know why I was in the report.
All right, and what's the 100 on your hand about?
It's 100.
No, what does that mean? You're 100.
It's just authentic, you know. It's old. This is old.
It's what?
It's old. It's old. It really has no significant meaning.
So why would you tattoo 100 on your hand and it has no significant
I
meaning?
mean, it does, but it's not. It's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what's the lettering on the side of your face?
Some words.
Hmm?
Some words.
Yeah, what are the words?
Against all odds.
All right, and what's the tattoo in the center of your forehead about?
It's a broken heart.
All right, and what's the other one?
Blessed.
And what's the neck tattoo about?
It's just some initials.
Mhm. And what's on the other hand?
It's just a bomb. It ain't nothing.
And what's the initials on your hand?
My partner that got killed. It's just in memories of my partner that got killed.
So how did he get killed?
Gun violence.
Mhm. And why are you riding around with a gun in the vehicle?
Vehicle.
All right, that's what the police report says.
I'll be charged with a gun.
Mhm. So your 8-year-old that you're so concerned about now, but you were not concerned about when you were riding around in the vehicle, where's your 8-year-old?
She's at home right now.
With who?
Safe and sound
With who?
with my wife. She's good.
No, what does that mean? She good. So here's the thing. You're in a court of law,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
don't do the slang with me
Yes, ma'am.
because it will not register with me and it will not register with me purposely on my part.
Yes, ma'am.
So your 8-year-old daughter is with, you say your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
So you all are legally married.
No.
So that's not your wife. So let's start there. You're not legally married, so that's not your wife. That's the mother of your child.
Yes, ma'am.
You, for some reason, felt she was not worthy to be blessed with a marriage with you. Because did you ask her to marry you? That would be a no. So don't be coming into court using your wife, who is not your wife, and your daughter to play on sympathy of the court.
Right. Most
So
definitely.
that's not, let's start with, that's not your wife. That's the mother of your child. And does she have employment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And she's always had employment.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have not always had employment.
I have.
No.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And so you're saying you're supporting your wife and your daughter on a salary of detailing cars?
Sale cars and detail cars.
Oh, but not this one, because this one was stolen. So where do you sell
It
and
wasn't
detail
even-
cars?
It wasn't my vehicle. I was detailing the vehicle and I got in the situation I'm in now.
All right, what I can
Still
tell
not
you
vehicle.
is nowhere in this police report, many things were said,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
nowhere in this police report do you say that you were detailing that vehicle. You said that Woods loaned that vehicle to you.
No, I said I was detailing the vehicle for him. I don't know why they didn't put it in a police report,
Mhm.
but we always have them type of technicalities.
So you detailing a vehicle for a guy, according to you,
Yes, ma'am.
that you met at the Bear County Jail.
Yeah,
Okay, so where is your shop?
that's like if I met you and
You will not, let me just tell you, you will not be meeting me at the Bear County Jail unless you're a client and I'm an attorney, or unless I'm going to the Bear County Jail to speak to inmates for whatever reason. So where's your detail shop?
I don't have one. I'm starting this from the ground up. I'm mobile.
Mhm.
I'm mobile.
Yeah.
I'm a mobile detailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the equipments you use to detail since you're mobile, which means you have to take equipment from one place to the other place? Are you just going to somebody's home and using their water and their soap and saying you're a detailer?
Well, unless like I go to a car wash and I do my thing there, you know, I vacuum the car out, tire shine, shit like stuff like that. Excuse my cussing. Yeah, I'm a mobile detailer though.
That's not detailing. I do that to my own vehicle. I vacuum it out.
Use purple power, stuff like that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Yes, that's something,
detail-
yeah, that's
detail
something you can
products.
buy from any store.
Tough stuff.
Yeah. All right,
I mean, we gotta
anything-
start somewhere, right?
sure. And let's hope it's not at the Bear County Jail meeting people that we don't know their names, because we don't do that. We just have street names. Deputy Laura, I don't have a street name. When people see me, they call me Stephanie Boyd.
Her name is Judge.
Yeah, okay, that should be my street name, Judge. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years. There's going to be a TAP evaluation. Follow those recommendations. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Probably be negative, you know, but I'm not,
When you say you'll probably be negative, why do you think it's just probably?
I mean, it's been a little minute since I smoked, but
Smoked what?
marijuana, you know.
All right, you're not allowed to smoke marijuana on probation or drink alcohol.
Yes, ma'am, I know that. I know that. I know that. You won't have no type of issues like that with me at all. Period.
There's going to be 120 hours community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. There's going to be proof of employment
Yes, ma'am.
within 30 days. All right, we can go off the record. So you have a daughter, correct? This is what you need to ask yourself, because children are supposed to be proud of their parents, right?
She is proud of me though.
Yeah, she doesn't know what you're up to. So this is what I'm going to say to you. You need to look at yourself honestly in the mirror and ask yourself, would you want, with the baggage you have right now and where you are in your life, if your daughter were of age, would you want her to bring you home to meet her parents? Yeah, I know the answer is no. So if the answer is no, you know what that means? She is not proud of you right now. You are presenting a picture of yourself to her that is not true. I don't know anybody who would be proud. Oh yeah, my father is taking some car from some guy named Wood. Oh, my father is smoking marijuana. Oh, my father is tattooing his body up with things that mean nothing, like the 100.
It
I'm
does
fine.
mean
Here's the
something.
thing. I'm fine with people having tattoos. That's fine. People can have tattoos, but if you're going to have tattoos, at least let it have some meaning. You understand? And until you can say you would be so happy that your daughter would bring a guy like you on paper home, to meet her family until you can honestly say that?
I'm a good guy.
No, you're not. You're committed, so you're telling this court that you would be happy and proud of your daughter to bring somebody home who has felony charges?
I mean,
All right,
stuff happens.
No, it
happens.
doesn't.
It
All right,
happens.
there's no help for you, but here's the thing, you cannot have unsupervised contact with minors. So you know what that means? That means for your child to have contact with you, somebody else needs to be present, an adult who is thinking and looking out for her, because you're not.
I just got caught in the wrong position, you know.
No, you didn't.
I didn't do nothing wrong, man.
You know what? Turn and look at your attorney. Ask her how many times she's been caught driving a car illegally. You know what? Ask the deputies. Deputy Laura, how many times have you been charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? Vashawn, do you have in your past an unauthorized use of a vehicle that you've done probation for? Zach, have you been at the Bear County Jail staying there because you've been arrested for an offense?
If I say yes, will you? Lawyer?
Yeah. See, that's no. Your attorney hasn't been at the Bear County Jail. And you're telling me with a straight face, jokingly, because you're the jokester from high school, there was always one. You're telling me with a straight face that you would be proud of your daughter to bring you home. And you know what that's saying? The people in that box, no. You see the people over in that box? Some of them have unauthorized use of a vehicle. So what you're telling me is if any one of those guys, if your daughter were an adult, you would be proud for her to bring any one of them home. Yeah, that'll be a no. Thank you very much. Change your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Darren Johnson. All right, why are you not, you want to raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state your name for the record.
Monique Riley Williams.
Why are you not being successful on this probation? You're supposed to report for UAs, you're not doing it. Why not?
I missed this one. I'm gonna be completely honest. I had forgotten. I don't do drugs or alcohol. I've never came out dirty, so I did ask him to if I can do one that week and he told me yes, so I did 2 for the next month.
All right, is that correct probation that you did 2 for the next month? All right, if you need to get a calendar, you're gonna have to get a calendar. You're looking at 10 years in prison.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other recommendations?
No, Your Honor, that's the entirety of the proposed recommendations, Your Honor.
All right, I can tell you with regards to Jorel Sinquez, I'm not gonna do a no harm for injurious contact until he provides a letter to probation or comes and tells the court that he wants to have contact with you. There's a reason why people are asking for no harm for injurious contact. So the court is going to deny the motion, alter the main conditions to include CPS compliance, the BIPP course, and there's to be no contact with Jorel Sinquez. And if there's an issue, obviously there is an issue because it's CPS, so there's a child involved. If there's an issue with child exchange while the CPS case is pending, they can help make that happen without you're contacting him. You are not to have contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That means no phone calls, no letters, no, I'm sorry, no, let's try to work this out. No, what's happening? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's just some side advice that I used to always tell my clients on CPS. When you break up with somebody and you are no longer together, they may tend to bring other partners in your child's life that you think they should not be. What you need to do is contact your attorney, or in your case, contact CPS. But you are not supposed to be putting your 2 cents in that relationship. And whatever you do, if this no contact order is ever lifted and you all are doing child exchanges, don't bring your significant other to the child exchange. And if they bring their significant other to the child exchange, just bite your lip and accept it.
Yes, ma'am.
Because crazy things end up happening when people are bringing girlfriends and boyfriends who really have nothing to do with nothing to a child exchange. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Judge, she did want to ask, she's got her diploma.
She
Ah,
wanted to ask if that would help with her community service.
yes, let me see. This
I'm
is
enrolled in
awesome.
college.
And she starts college in August.
Oh, yes, of course that will help. This is great. I ended up going to Booker T. Washington High School.
Yes, ma'am.
The other schools that had more money than our school had, they did not have the leather binding. And my mom would tell people, hey, where's your leather binding? My daughter has leather binding. But, oh, this is so awesome. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And so what are you going to study? What are you doing in college?
Phlebotomy, hopefully.
Okay, awesome. I can't do that. Don't like the sight of blood, but all right. Well, good luck to you. Just keep striving. And sometimes when you're striving to do different things and better yourself, it's difficult. It gets hard, but don't lose sight of what your hopes and dreams are. Just keep pushing it. Even though the days are long, at some point you're going to reach, your degree.
Yeah.
And then you're going to look back on it and you're going to say, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. And probation. She's gonna go to college. When she goes to college, community service hours will be deemed satisfied. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense is here requesting a bond. In this case number, she's on deferred adjudication. She's entitled to a bond. Have you all come to an agreement?
Yes, we have you on. Or
Yeah, we have no problem.
something.
All right,
They recommended a 40 and I anticipated that it would be a 40 and informing the family based on the circumstances.
so are you all in agreement then?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court is aware of the defendant's history based upon the fact that she's on deferred adjudication in this court. So therefore, the court is aware of any mental health and medical issues. The court will set the bond at $40,000. The court is going to order partial GPS, waive fees, and I'm assuming she's in yellow because she's expecting. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, she's expecting in May. And I understand she just used the word high risk.
Okay. So it'll be partial GPS waive fees, and that'll be for medical appointments.
And then she's also a student at Palo Alto.
Is she going to be continue doing that? Well, is she enrolled currently?
She's enrolled. She turned herself in on this matter Monday afternoon and hope to get get in and get a bond set so that she could continue at school and help appointments.
All
She
right.
did not wait to get picked up. She turned herself in.
All right. Do you have any objections to the court allowing her to attend classes?
No.
All right. All right. For medical appointments in school. Is there anything else?
Well, of course, we can get attorney visits, right? To the attorney office.
Oh,
Yeah,
that goes
that's-
without saying. If
Sure.
they want me to add that, that would be very strange.
That would be very strange. Thank you.
All right. Let me give you a setting.
Oh, she has court next Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. It's an official court setting with CPS.
Okay.
There shouldn't be any problem with that either, right?
No, they'll let her go to court.
She just wanted to make double sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna recall this back for October 17th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I'm sorry, could you give me a reset for this for October 17th? Yes. All right, thank you. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you
and
very
I'll
much.
add in here for court dates.
I
And
understand. She was just
it
being
shouldn't be a
cautious.
problem, but I'll add it just in case.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Get back to the jail.
On this motion to withdraw. State, why is the motion to withdraw being filed?
Another question.
Yes.
To the state, it's due number one, Judge, they're not indicted. One's family violence, that's gonna be dismissed, my understanding. But there's two other ones that are ag assaults, have not been indicted. I did inform the defense that we may refile, but at this point, we can't be proving it on an MTR.
All right, and where are you working? Why do you have this badge on?
It's a school thing.
I'm sorry?
It's a school. It's for school.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I hope that's not a badge for a home healthcare provider because I don't allow that.
No, it's a school thing. It's at I think it's at St. Philip's, Palo Alto. I was wrong.
All right, so they're filing this motion to withdraw basically because your cases haven't been indicted yet. This is your fourth MTR that has been filed against you. I don't know what your problem is, but what I do know is the charge you have, you're looking at 10 years in the prison. So if you want to continue on this path, I'm going to tell you what I told everybody else. Just because you're a woman does not mean that they don't have a place for you at the prison. They will make room. And if there are only supposed to be 10 people in a cell, I guarantee you, they're not going to let you run around out here and saying, oh, federal law says only 10 people can be in a cell. So we're just going to let people run amok. They will find and squeeze you into that cell or either leave you in processing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not come back here with nonsense before this court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And these new number ones, who are the complainants?
They're non-family, Judge.
I can find out, Judge.
All right, because she's not having contact with those persons.
That we have no contact with them now. That was part of the bond conditions on these new charges. And Judge, as a condition of her MTR bond and the ag assault bond, she's on partial house arrest GPS. She does have a CPS case open where she gets supervised visits with her child through CPS at the CPS office. It's like on a Wednesday, every Wednesday. If you could approve Ms. Williams attending the CPS office to visit her child, her children. It might be a stretch to ask, but I'm going to anyway. If she could also take part in any doctor appointments or medical appointments for the children.
Well, once that happens, she can come forward and ask, because unless the children have some sort of chronic issue, usually those appointments are scheduled.
Sure, sure.
State, do you have any objections to her being allowed to attend child visitation with CPS supervision? All right, I'll sign the motion to withdraw. And counsel, you'll need to, write an order with regards to this child visitation. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor. We appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
May we be excused?
Once you speak with probation.
Judge, so
And probation, is there anything you want added?
that I'm fully aware, did you amend any conditions?
No, the only thing that she's allowed, she's still going to be on GPS.
Don't have her on GPS with probation.
Oh, it's through her bond.
So the new cases are not going to move forward. She won't be on
Oh,
GPS,
no.
correct?
No, the new cases are moving forward. They
Okay.
just haven't indicted them yet.
Okay,